I'm not a nostalgic person. You know, when Doritos re-released the Sonic Sour Cream Chip, I bought a bag. You know, it made me feel something that I haven't felt in a long time, but I'm not super nostalgic. When we put the Christmas tree up and there's the smell of pine in the house, it makes me feel good. I don't know if that's nostalgia, but I don't look back I don't put on an old record that from a band that I used to be in and think about, oh man, those were the good old days. The good old days are now, and the good old days will be tomorrow. I live in the good old days all the time.
There's an old gray stone sitting amongst the flowers in the field. The stones chip, the words don't ring, and the flowers never yield. But by the blue sky above me and the green, green grass old, I don't come here for the flowers, but for the old gray stone.
I got to see so many places that it felt like I practically lived everywhere. So moving back here was a choice. And I think it's just because of the peace and quiet and the fact that we found a pretty nice area to live in. I'm still close to friends, I'm still close to family, and I'm able to do all the things that I've always wanted to do, like running a small homestead and letting my 2 children grow up with a backyard to run around in instead of a virtual one on a TV screen. For the longest time, I've always wanted to, have chickens and, be able to grow my own food and be a little closer to the land. And this place was the place to do it. The food industry is a nightmare. And we decided a long time ago that we wanted to get away from that as much as we possibly could. Buy local. It's growing your own food. It's raising your own livestock, which is it's not a pretty thing. It's not something I love doing, but it's, for a family who is like omnivorous, is that the word? Like we're omnivores, it's something that I feel like we need to do because the meat industry it's evil, right? It's a nightmare. So we, raise our own livestock, we grow our own food, we have chickens to produce eggs, and we give them the best lives they possibly can. It's not a bunch of animals stuck in a box. There's 200 acres back there that these animals roam around on completely freely, and they always choose to come back at the end of the night, because they find it a safe and happy environment. We hunt our own food if we can. We do all of these things because we're trying to be a little closer to the land. Yeah. Like every day is a learning process, right? When we got chickens, I stuck them in a doghouse in the backyard. I didn't research it first, but I learned through trying that wasn't the right way to do it. And the next year we built a better housing situation for them, and the next year we built an even better one. And you every day you learn something new, right? Just from trial and error. So with music, it's very similar. I didn't change my style of music because I thought this would sell better, or anything like that. Like I didn't start playing all these different types of music because of that. I just grow. I find balancing this lifestyle with my own lifestyle very difficult, right? I have 2 very different sides of me. I have music and I have this family, and this family is a full-time job, just like any parent knows, right? It's but on top of that, we're also trying to run what I would consider a homestead, like a small hobby farm. And when I go away for a month at a time to play music, I leave my wife and children in charge of this, and it's taxing on me, but even more taxing on them, because this is the kind of thing that you need to be around doing every single day. I've turned down many a concert because of the life I live now. Back in the Attack on Black days, we used to tour 200 plus days a year sometimes, and now I do a couple handfuls of touring a year. I mean, you realize you don't have to do 200 plus concerts a year, to be happy, but I want to be here with my family. I want to see my children. I want to see my wife. I want to see my animals. It's like there's a life here that you want to be a part of, but then it's very, very pulling because you know, music isn't really a job. It's not even a lifestyle. It's a part of you, right? Like it's something you have, like I have to do it. I'll never be able to stop doing it. So it's really tough. Just a lot of juggling. I don't think too far in the future. I guess a little more so now that I have children, but I've always just gone day by day doing what I do. And this kid's record was never even supposed to be a record. You know, it was, I was upstairs in the house that we're in now. And in this room, my children were down here listening to music. I thought it was super cool. I heard them listening to music, wanted to come see what they're listening to. And like I mentioned to you before, what they were listening to was absolute garbage. So I had to change that. And I thought to myself, what skill set do I possess that could help these kids listen to something a little more acceptable for children? Oh yeah, I write music, so I got to work and I started writing them songs. They are one of the most challenging audiences to play for. You know, it's very difficult to keep a kid's attention for more than 15 minutes, right? So you gotta become their best friend in the first 5 minutes or you're done. You have to connect with them on a whole different level to make them feel like they're watching a concert as opposed to being part of it, which when I do the kids' concert, it's very much so that they are a part of it. You know, there is no line. Like the last time I had all the kids up on stage with me and we were petting ducks and chickens. It's a very communal thing.
Been living in small towns my whole life, and I like it.
I don't think you have to live in a big city to be successful. You know, it depends on what your view of success is. You know, I grew a really good tomato this year. Like it was like one of the best tomatoes I've ever had in my life. I pulled a baby goat out of a female goat with my bare hands earlier this year. You know, 4.5, 5 years ago, I pulled a human baby boy out of a woman. That's success, right? And I still get to go play music for people. That makes me feel pretty good.
Here in a small town, here in a small town.